Welcome back, everybody. On July 27th, there is going to be a big party at the Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Arena, and you, lucky you, are invited.
That's right. Please welcome comedian and Jacksonville native A-Train, along with Gene.com from V101.5. He's here to tell us about some major musical greats who are going to all be under one roof. Give me the who, what, where, and when.
Listen, Friday, July the 27th at the arena.
Yes.
It is the Sweat Hotel block party. You and I were talking off air with R&B sensation Keith Sweat.
Yeah.
John B., Faith Evans, and the legendary Layla Hathaway.
Let's talk about some of the backgrounds in legendary, because so much with R&B, it's credibility. Credibility comes from who produced you, whose record were you on, who were you with at the time they were big that helped you get big, because it's kind of like a family. So I think when you talk about an artist, you talk about, well, this artist was produced by this artist or was with this artist. So give us a little background on these particular artists.
Well, in addition to that, before I answer that, but it's more so about the era. Like, people who grew up in the 80s, you know about Keith Sweat, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You already know about John B. You know, so on the musical side and in the production side, yes, you're exactly right. But for this community, I remember, like, in the hood, in apartments, that's what we call it, we dropped the A, go straight to the P. Only thing people was bumping was Keith Sweat.
Right.
You know, you had Jerry Curls running around and Keith Sweat's on every voicemails out there, you know?
I went to the 90s concert that they just had at the St. Augustine Amphitheater, and it was amazing. They had all those videos, and all that fun time came back, and the empowerment of women. You forget how women musicians and singers were, and Salt and Pepper and the DJs. You remember Salt and Pepper, but then their sister was a DJ at the time. What women DJs did you know? And now you know there's a huge amount of them now. Groundbreakers, real groundbreakers at the time.
Yeah, and the legendary piece that you were speaking of earlier about, you know, those that came before you or that kind of gave you that credibility. I mean, Layla Hathaway, Donny Hathaway is a legend, you know, till his day. You know what I mean?
In his
so
own right.
Yeah, so to be a part of that lineage, you know what I'm saying, it adds credibility. So it's amazing to have her, you know, in the city and performing on this great show. So, I mean, the lineup is phenomenal again.
There it is on your screen. You can see it.
Hit it one more time, Gene. Tell him who's here.
Yeah, Keith Sweat, Faith Evans. You know, Faith Evans, the
Biggie Smalls' wife.
First lady of hip hop.
First lady of Bad Boy. And then you also have John B., who's like, you know, Mr. Sex Appeal for the ladies in R&B.
It just every time I see like Faith and some of those, like, it just makes me a little sad, because Biggie being gone, you think about, like, what would Faith and Biggie have been? They would have been Jay-Z and Beyonce before Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Strong.
Like, they were heading to that.
Yes, sir.
Like, they were amazing. But Keith Sweat, you know, brings me back to, obviously, you know, mid-90s. I was in college. Played it quite a bit, and I think it was probably playing in that Texas city that had 48 babies. Probably playing 9 months earlier.
Keith Sweat is responsible for a lot of these 2000 generation right now. He was created off of his music.
Exactly.
So how does the lineup work? Because, like, with that 90s concert that I went to, like, in between they were playing, there was a DJ playing the other sounds of that era that kind of brought it in together. It was a dance party.
That's where we come in, because Gene.com and myself, we're co-hosting. So, you know, they got us there to fill that time, you know what I mean, to fill that downtime or what have you, and make sure the people have a great time. It's what we do. And if you saw us on stage the last concert,
listen, if anything happens, if an artist slips up and makes a mistake, we're catching it. And we will have a fly rendition for it when we get back on stage.
It's what they pay me to do.
And they know it. They know it's coming, and everybody in the audience needs to be careful as well.
Definitely.
Because you're watching the entire time.
The whole thing.
I always think Kid Play was hilarious, because they did their little skit when we were, and then they did their dance, and they did and they're like, "How's the crowd doing?" Everybody's screaming, and they're like, "Really? Because we're exhausted. We're old and we're tired." And then they go, "We'd like to thank our sponsors, Ben Gay, Icy Hot, Just for Men." So they were like really embracing the change in time and the fact that we were all still there rooting for them and big fans.
Listen, it's a lot of work when you have multiple of thousands of people in an arena who didn't come to see you. Number one, you're that person that make sure that the tone is set. You know what I mean, and make sure people have a great time. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. So, like, as a comedian, I prefer to have a set. You know what I mean? Like, give me my 10 or 15 minutes and I'm done. But as a host, you're there all night, man, and you got to keep it coming. You know.
Something else you mentioned it too, it's not just those big names in R&B coming. We got a lot of local talent, like you said. A-Train's going to be there, and my man Moses West.
Yeah, man.
You're going to get comedian Nod
Ross there. Yeah, man.
You're going to get more than just music and stuff. You're going to get some inspiration, and you're going to get some really great words from
Which
Moses.
speaks a lot about the promoters here in the city, how they're not only just bringing big names to the city, but they're also bringing big names and then allowing those of us who are on the front lines and providing entertainment throughout the weeks, throughout the different months, giving them a chance to hit the big stage and exploit that, expose their talent to multiple people. So so kudos to the promoters that's on this show for allowing some of us local cats, you know what I mean, to hit the stage.
It's going to be a good time.
And be involved with the big names like Keith Sweat and Layla Hathaway.
Congratulations and best luck. It's going to be a great time.
It really is. Special thanks to Smooth and Groove Entertainment for being here and sharing this wonderful event. Remember, Keith Sweat, Faith Evans, Layla Hathaway, and John B. are going to perform at the Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Arena on Friday, July 27th, along with A-Train, Nod Ross, and Moses West as well. And you can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
Yes.
It's going to be a party. All right.